Welcome to Old Friends and New Roads. My name's Keith, a YouTube channel about everything motorcycle touring. All right. If you've dreamt of living off your motorcycle out touring the country, then please subscribe and I can help you avoid some of the mistakes that I've made, as well as show you how fun and exciting motorcycle travel could be. So join along. Right. So I'm probably going to get roasted for this, but here it is. Today I'm doing a 3-hole oil change on my bike. For the record, it's a 2016 Road Glide Ultra. This is the first service I've ever done. I've always been the guy that says, oh, just take it to Harley because, you know, I don't want it messing up while we're out in the middle of nowhere, but I kind of wanted to save $400 this time. So I'm at the 20K mark. Gonna just change the oil in the primary and the crankcase. Yeah, the 3-hole oil change. I got O-rings, tools, lubricants. You guys are going to roast me for this, but I've had 4 services done at the dealership and they've Syn3'd all the holes, so I'm going to do the same thing. Bike's been running beautifully for 20K, so I don't really feel like changing it. Yeah, Syn3. This is the first time I've ever done it, so wish me luck. Alright, I got a gripe for a second. This is, you know, the Harley toolkit that came with my bike. I always try to use it whenever possible, just so I can kind of know what does or what it can and can't do. They have 2 wrenches on here. Both have a 9/16 up top, 1/2 inch on the side. It's really unfortunate they didn't include a 5/8 so that you can pull your drain plugs. Looks like they got a bottle opener, so at least there's that, but you can't change your oil with one. That would be an easy fix. All right, got my Harley drain pan. That's how you know I'm doing it right. I'm after that plug there, draining the oil. Not a whole lot of room. Let me get this stupid drain pan out of the way. 4-inch bolt in here? What's going on? All right, we're getting close. Get this back. Get that back. All right, what I did was, once it was what I felt like was going to be finger tight, I ended up just putting the socket in my hand and doing it by hand. I'm going to crack the cap. There we go. My engine's blood. There's my drain plug. Oil's looking decent. I mean, I pretty diligently get it changed. Not much of an O-ring to speak of, and there wasn't really anything on the magnet, so I'm going to clean this up, get a new O-ring on it so we can get it put it back in. So there definitely was an O-ring. Dealership seems to use some sort of thread sealant. I'm not using that. I'm sticking with the O-ring and I'll keep an eye on it. Alright, we're on the other side of the bike here. There's my filter. The one I'm replacing with it is black. I just, you know, removing chrome off one piece at a time. So, gonna take my handy dandy filter tool, get this off here, and I'm just gonna shove a bunch of rags under. I didn't feel like buying the Harley Davidson scoop. Here's hoping that does it. Fish this around here. All right, 2 hands. Future self, slide the drain pan forward a few inches when removing the filter. Noted. All right, got the new filter here. Trying to get it in the middle. And let that soak in, get it twisted on. All right, I'm going to tighten this up by hand. It says a 1/2 to 3/4 after it makes contact. Got it. All right, so the book says to tighten the oil drain plug 19 to 28.5 Newton meters. It's kind of a wide range, but mine goes up to 20 Newton meters. So I just went a little bit past, and that should be good. All right, got the oil plug back on there just fine. Next is the transmission. It's right up in there, so I'm going to get that draining. All right, seems to be going pretty good. It definitely breaks down differently than the engine oil. That's kind of a trip. Shouldn't take long. So there's the transmission nut. And here's my issue. So top doesn't look too bad, but you can see the thread sealer that they used all the way out at the tip like that. So that was up in the transmission. You know, when you take, just because you take your bike to the dealer doesn't mean that, you know, there's always, everywhere you work there's a shit bag, right? The dealership's no different. Some guys probably take a lot of pride in their work, and others just knock it out as fast as they can, and you don't get to choose who gets to do your bike. So that's kind of unfortunate to see that. I'm gonna clean the hell out of that. Voila. I'm going to get this slap back on. It says 19 to 28 Newton meters. So that's what I'm going to do. Time to drain the primary, which is right there. It's definitely tight. Alright, that one's draining decently. This one has a small buildup of fine grit on that magnet, but it's not looking too bad. I'm going to get this cleaned off, O-ring replaced, and it tightens down to the same spec as the other two. Check it. All right, time to take the chain case cover off. It's a T27 Torx all the way around. That's what it looks like behind the cover. I've never taken one of those covers off. Now I have. So the manual says 34 ounces on a wet refill, so there's 32 ounces in a quart. So I'm going to do a full quart, then a couple more ounces, and close her up. All right, I probably should have borrowed Eric's bike stand, but I ended up putting my bike up on a kickstand to kind of get it a little bit more vertical, because as I was filling it, it was wanting to run down. So I got the 2 more ounces remaining going in, and putting a new gasket on the cover, putting the cover on, and then those T27s go in a certain order. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star pattern, and I'll get that back on there and torque down. All right, now we're on to adding the engine oil. The book says 3 quarts to start. This is the open quart that I had from the adding it to the filter. I'm just going to continue on so that we hit the 3 quarts. Time to fill. All right, I'm at the 3 quarts. I'm going to do the cold level check. All right, I got 28 ounces in the quart container there. Heading for the tranny. So this one's definitely finicky. Not even gonna try to film it, but I'm gonna fill it up. All right, so 3 rolls of paper towels later, container of kitty litter, I'm finally all done. Got all the fluids topped off, filters back in, everything's torqued down, replaced the gaskets wherever I needed to. I'm gonna go take it for a quick spin, get it warmed up and check the fluids again. But I think I'm ready to roll. Everything I used on changing this oil, aside from the drain pan, I'm gonna bring with me on our trips, including a little bit of extra oil, you know, just in case. Like I said, the Harley tool, if that would have came with a 5/8 attachment, it'd be a pain in the ass, but you'd be able to get it. So there she is. Gonna get her warmed up, fluids checked, topped off. I'm gonna wash it, and then I'll spend the next week or so checking for leaks. Like I said, I've used Syn3 in all 3 holes because that's what my bike's had so far at the dealership. That way, I could just bring one kind of oil along with me, use it wherever needed. I'd like to thank the YouTube videos that are up there that pretty much gave me the confidence to do it on my own. Normally the motorcycle's a big no-no. I got me and my wife riding on there, and I just don't want to take anything. I just take as few risks as possible on our trips. But I'm glad I did this. I learned a lot about my bike, a little bit more confidence in my bike, and if something were to happen on the side of the road, I know that now. So if you've done a YouTube video about the 3-hole oil change, I've watched it. I fucking watched them all, and I'm like to add mine to the lineup. So if you thought this was helpful at all, or if you like what I'm doing on the other videos, please subscribe and follow along, and leave some comments, leave feedback. I love chatting with the guys on. So thanks, man. Check you later.